What's up, guys? Welcome. What am I saying? Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 or chapter 2 of Poppy Playtime and Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. It's called Fly in a Web. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh man, I don't remember the controls because I haven't done this in a minute. It's been over a month since I last played the first chapter, right? This time I'm gonna listen to the story. All right. Okay.
Playtime Co's new patented elastic plastic. You can stretch, pull, and twist Mommy Longlegs in the craziest ways.
Okay.
She loves watching you play. When you're having fun, she's having fun. The new Mommy Longlegs from Playtime Co. What's the time?
What's the time? It's playtime. Okay. Okay. Whoa. That's Poppy from the last chapter. Okay. Wake up. Poppy Playtime. Chapter 2. I'm hyped. Chapter 1 was super fun, so let's go. Let's dig in. Okay. I like the controls. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to remember. Okay. There's a door. I guess it's this way. We're back in the factory, which is weird. There's a red door. It's locked. Okay. Ooh. Spider. Wait, what? Oh, what? Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I got the controls. Alright. Wait, I feel like I can pull this off, right?
Nope.
Where you... What? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Ah, there you go. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Ooh. It's a key. Okay. And I'm guessing that's the key to the door. Ooh, bro, I'm smooth with it. Okay. We got this. Nice. Some office. You know, you gotta pull something like that. Was I supposed to break that? I feel like that was supposed to be like a... Okay. Okay. I'm remembering the controls. I forgot how to crouch. Okay. Okay. What?
Ariana, what are you doing here?
Well, you did. What the heck? Are you my friend? Do I know you? My left hand? Okay. Okay. What? There you go. Okay.
I wanted to thank you for freeing me. I was stuck in there for so long. Thank you. I'd like to pay you back.
Pay me back? How are you gonna pay me back?
Train station. It needs a code, but I have it. We're gonna get out of here.
Yes! Get me out of this place.
As soon as you get on up here.
Whoa! Okay, get up there.
Come on.
I'd like to get up too. Okay. Why? Why? Get up here!
Get over here! Get
Get the-
over here!
Oh, what are you doing? Okay. Why is this the hardest part of the game? Oh! Woo! Whew! Let's go. Okay.
Hey, I'm up here. I see you. I should be able to follow you through the vents. This way.
Why are you saying I see you? This way? Oh. No, I can't. There you go. A little scanny-roo. Scanaroo. Somebody's singing. There should not be anyone here singing.
Listen, I'm going to need you to trust me.
What? 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 Ain't nobody see that.
Bruh.
Are we really gonna go down there? Are we really gonna go down there? Alright, hold on. Let me just check if there's no exits. Okay. Poppy. Just because I'm a nice guy. Oh. Game station. How far did we go down? How big is this place? This company? Alright, there's a power outlet. Oh wait, this is the end. Okay, so it's another mission. There's gotta be like a trick to this, right? I have no clue what it might be. What is that? Huh? Okay. Let me think. There's a way to this. I don't know. Can you like put it through here? Maybe it'll help. Oh. Is it supposed to go like this? Okay. How do I hit that? Am I supposed to hit like this? Hey! Hey! Finally! We don't need no Google. We don't need no Google. Alright, get my hand in. What the?
Isn't this exciting, Poppy? Very exciting, Mommy. Mommy heard that Miss Poppy was going to just give you the train code to escape.
You can just talk?
How is that fun?
You can talk.
Why don't you make a game out of it? The game station is still working. It will be just like old times. And if you win all 3 games, I'll give you the train code. Mommy loves that idea, Poppy. Oh, you're going to have so much fun. Head to musical memory, and Mommy will get things started. Obey the rules, or I'll tear you apart and eat your insides while you're still alive.
Man! Why are we playing this game, bro? She said she about to eat me alive. What is this? That's creepy. Alright, what am I supposed to do here? Oh my gosh. I only got one arm now. Okay, this place is huge. Alright, so this is the game station that she was just talking about. musical memory. Wow. It's a kid station. Why do we need a steel door? Come on, guys. This is just... Alright. Obviously, we have to go down here, guys. Why do we have to keep going down weird places? What the heck is this? I like pulling red levers. Oh, nice. VR tape. Press that. If there's a button, I will press it. Alright. Whoa. Oh, I'm strong like that. Okay. Alright, alright. Just going in. Okay. We're molding something. It says no paint. Alright, we have to look for paint. This is the paint section. Where do we find the paint? Oh, there you are. Let's put that in, right? Alright. Dope, that's it, right? Hey! Guys, I'm getting the hang of this game now. Now, what is this? What is this? Ooh! New hand. Oh wait, let's play this VR tape. It's definitely got something to do with this story. Green hand. Shoot green power outlet. Okay. To temporarily hold electricity. Just lasts for 10 seconds. Okay. 10 seconds, charge runs out. When holding electricity, shoot green hand receiver. Oh, okay. Okay. They are on the same timer. Whoa! Okay, lack of caution, guys. Let's be careful. Alright. So, I have this. Let's shoot it. Why do we keep going in places that says do not enter? Yeah. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Okay. What is this? What is this? Hello? Whoa, why we got cameras up in here?
To musical memory. A sequence of colors will be shown, and you must recreate the exact sequence using the buttons around you.
Okay.
Bunzo will slowly lower towards you.
Huh?
When you complete a color pattern correctly,
Bunzo
will rise back up. When you input a pattern incorrectly, Bunzo will lower towards you faster. If Bunzo reaches you, your test is over. The test will become more difficult as it continues,
Okay.
with longer patterns in quicker succession.
Okay.
That's all. Good luck.
Okay. Bonzo, my guy. Please be nice.
Oh, isn't it amazing? Mommy hasn't seen the place up and running in years. Mommy can only imagine how excited Bunzo must be. It's been such a long time since he's been able to play, to cheer, to eat.
To eat what? What the
That's the dinner bell.
dinner bell? To eat? To mukbang? Blue? Oh my god. Hey, there you go. Yay. Green. Blue. green, blue, green, blue, blue, green, blue, blue,
Yellow.
blue, green, blue, blue, yellow.
Round 2.
Easy.
Green.
Green,
Green. Red.
green, red. Hello?
Green. Red. Green.
Green. I'm pressing the button. What the heck? It's not working.
Green. Red. Green. Green.
Green, red, green, green,
Green. Red. Green. Green. Yellow.
green, red, green, green, yellow.
Green. Red. Green. Green. Yellow. Violet.
Green, red, green, green, yellow. Violet. Okay, they added another color. The heck? The hecky? Yellow, yellow. They're just adding colors? Okay.
Yellow. Yellow. Orange. Blue.
Yellow, yellow, orange, blue,
Blue.
blue.
Blue. J.
Blue J?
Blue. J. Orange.
Blue J heart.
Blue. J. Orange. Violet.
Hello, I'm pressing. Blue J heart. Violet? Where's Violet? Woo!
Blue. J. Orange. Violet. I.
What? Blue J Violet. No heart. Violet pie. Blue J heart heart violet pie pie. What?
Round 5. J. Rabbit. Snow. Question 1. Yellow. White. Heart. Smiley face. No fire. Red. Snow. Light. Rabbit. Massive rabbit. Violet. Smiley.
Woo! 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 Oh. Oh my god.
Oh, it broke. That's no fun. For doing such a splendid job, Mommy has decided to give you part of the code for the train.
We live. Oh.
Take
Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you.
Mommy was hoping the game could last a little longer. It's okay though. Mommy knows other ways to play with you.
What are you saying, bro? I lived. What? What the? Huh? What the? I fell. What the heck? Okay, I guess this is the way out. Whew! Let's go, guys. Sometimes the mouse doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. But we live. We live. That was stressful. I don't really like these tight spaces, bro. You don't know what's gonna come out. Okay. I'm okay. I'm good. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, there's a green thing, so you know I gotta touch that. What's this? Weight capacity reached, okay. So that means I have to take this guy out. What am I doing with this green hand? Power? What's over there? Okay, that's the green thing that we have to touch. Okay. So 10 seconds. So I have to touch this, right? Alright. Oh! Okay, it's a claw machine. Okay, so I just have to bring this over and claw that heavy guy, right? Okay. Okay, dope. Super, super easy. And then, like this. And like this. Alright? And then just get him out of here, right? Ooh, nice. Oh, wait, it's this one. Hey, hey. Okay. I'm on a roll, baby. Let's go. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Alright, alright. Yeah. Hey. And we're back. What the heck? I guess mission number 2.
Whoa, you did fantastic.
Wack-a-Wuggy. Okay. Let's go. Alright, Wack-a-Wuggy. These doors are always locked. It's open. Ooh, what? They have a bunch of hands. I can get myself another pair of the red ones. Maybe? Sand. Okay, I'm guessing it's whack-a-mole, right? Because it's Wack-a-Wuggy.
Welcome to Wack-a-Wuggy. Around you are 18 sizable holes.
18. That's a
An
lot.
adorable Huggy Wuggy toy could appear out of any one of these holes.
Adorable.
If one comes out, hit it with your grab pack. That's all. Good luck.
Okay. It's very simple, huh? I hear them, but I don't see them. Oh! Get back. Get back. I feel your intent to kill. Get out of here. Woo! There's too many. Get back! Ah! 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 Why did I actually get scared? I was so close. Oh, it's so dark. I can't see them. That's the problem. No? I'm clicking. I feel it. Like tingly hit. 긴장해서 지금. I'm nervous. Why do these guys... There's too many of them. Oh my gosh. Get back! Get back! Get back!
Mommy is so proud of you. Here, Mommy has another hint for you.
Thank you. Please give it to me so I can get out of here. Oh. Okay. Why is there always like a different way to go out? Just let me go out the way. I'm thinking maybe after this it will be basically over, right? Ooh, what is this? What is this? What is this?
Welcome to statues.
Okay.
The rules are simple. The lights will turn off. You can move through the obstacle course at this time. However, when the lights turn on, you can look around but cannot move.
I can look around.
You may move again once the lights turn back off.
Okay.
The lovable PJ alert will follow you. If PJ reaches you, your test is over. That's all. Good luck.
What? PJ, get out of here! I don't want to play with you. Oh my.
It was always so sad to see kids go. They called me Mommy because I was the closest we ever had to one. But they come for games and never come back. They left Mommy to die alone. Mommy didn't deserve that. But you worked here. So if anyone deserves to die alone, it's you.
I worked here? What is my character? What am I? Okay. He said lights off. Lights off is when I move, right? Lights off is when I move. Wait, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Where do I go? Where do I go? Medium, hard, easy. That easy does not look easy. What the heck? Oh my gosh. We got this. Easy. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. We're almost there. Why's my hand shaking? Why am I trembling? What? Bro, my hand is trembling. Why can't my character not jump? What? I'm out. Is this not the end? Where am I supposed to go? What the heck? Wait, what the heck? What? 여기서 어디가? Oh, there's a hole. What is this? Where did I go? I'm out. What do you mean just decided I won? I know you trying to kill me. Okay, her voice is getting further away. Whoa, whoa, she's mad. She's mad. Oh, I'm scared, bro. Huh? Oh, I needed a toy anyways. Hold on. Take the toy. Take the toy. Let me get out of here. Can I not leave? Oh, I can. Woo! We out, baby. Oh, wait. Woo! Yeah! Okay, I'm getting... What? Bro, no music. You know I'm about to die.
last game.
What? Are...
Nine, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my god. I'm scared, bro. Stop dropping me in weird places. I don't want to drop. It says emergency exit. I know for sure that is not no exit. I'm pretty sure I'm opening the gates to her, right? We'll try. Okay. It was worth a try. I know she's about to pop up soon. I could tell. I feel it. I feel it. Kinjang. I could tell. I'm scared. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh no. Woo! Woo! Okay, guys. She said exit. There was an exit last time. They're not coming to kill me? Huh? I'm alive! I'm alive? I'm alive? What? Stop playing tricks with me. Oh, I made something. Whoa. Okay, that's the gear that we need. That was talk about right here. Okay. Bro, I think I've had enough of this game already. I'm already over it. I'm already over it. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm staying here. What are these sounds? Alright, I get it. Whenever she pops up, we need to hide. Woo! What? Whoa! 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 I almost got that first try, bro. Almost. Oh, my heart, bro. Oh, I'm so close. I'm so focused. I'm so locked in, but I... Easy! Woo, 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 woo! I went up! I went up! Ah! My weak heart cannot take this. With the creepy noises. Stop with the creepy noises. Woo! Bro, she's about to pop up. 어디 어디? Whoa! 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 Yoda! Oh my god. Oh!
What have you done? You make me part of you. You can't do this to me.
What is that? What is that? What did I just witness? That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Poppy playtime over here. Yep. Wow. This was way more intense than the first one. Oh, guys. I don't know why. I keep regretting my choices of playing these games. I've never played games that are like stressful like this. Oh, Poppy. Poppy? Oh, you can't talk. Oh.
Did you kill her?
Oh.
Good. I'll board the train.
What
We
the?
need to leave.
Whoa, you've become very, you've got no emotions now. You're talking a bit scary there, Poppy. Okay, just get on the train, right? Get on the train! Time to go. Hello? There you go. Shoo! Okay. Tab. Alright, so the code is, it's 3124. 3124. Finally, get me out of this place. Let's go. 출발. Let's go. Hey, we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, going through the sky. Little lights die. Hey, climb on board, get ready to explore. Hey, 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 we're going home. We're going home. Hey, hey, where's Poppy though? Hey, hey.
I was so scared she'd put me back in that case. But you saved me. You're perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry. I can't let you leave.
What?
I've never met anyone like you. Do you know how long I've been stuck in that case? Well, too long. I had so much time to think and reflect. Time to figure out exactly what I would do when free. We'll set things right. Terrible things have happened. But I know that whatever I need you to do, you're capable. We will. What?
Man, Poppy really wants us to just do her bidding, I guess. We're going literally deeper into the factory. Get me back out of here, bro. This train's going too fast, bro. Why do you have a whole train in a factory? Why is this factory so big? What the heck? Stop train. What? Oh my gosh. Please tell me that's the end though. It's not? That's crazy. And that was chapter 2. Fly in a Web. Wow, what a game. That was it was definitely something. I think the first chapter was very short and sweet, but this one was just like the right amount. Like, I liked how in the beginning I thought, I was like, oh, this chapter's pretty chill with the little mini games and stuff, but the end was like, oh, okay. It's not just running, we're hiding too. Anyways, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, just, I don't know, comment down what you guys enjoyed. I love reading the comments, and I'll get on with the next chapter. I'll see you guys soon. Ooh, it was so much fun. Hope you guys had fun too. And yeah, love you guys. Peace out. Bye bye.